So this is actually from Waymo. There was a child. Let's see. We'll go to Jason Crawford. A child steps into the street from behind an SUV directly into the path of a Waymo going at 17 miles an hour. Waymo immediately brakes hard, but it hits the child at 6 miles an hour. Child sustains minor injuries. Waymo calls 911 and remains on the scene until police arrive. Waymo employees also call NHTSA to report the same day. Waymo estimates that a human, even if not distracted, would have hit the child at 14 miles per hour.
I want to know, how old is this child, and why was this child able to run into the road by themselves?
I think they said he was 6.
Yeah.
Or no. Or he was, I don't know. They didn't say how old he was.
6 is old enough to know not to run in the street. I'm sorry. That's like bad parenting.
Waymo's statement, let's see. A commitment to transparency and road safety, event overview. At Waymo, we are committed to improving road safety both for our riders and all those with whom we share the road. Part of that commitment is being transparent when incidents occur, which is why we are sharing details regarding an event in Santa Monica, California on Friday, January 23rd, where one of our vehicles made contact with a young pedestrian. Following the event, we voluntarily contacted the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration that same day. NHTSA has indicated to us that they intend to open an investigation into this incident, and we will cooperate fully with them throughout the process. The event occurred when the pedestrian suddenly entered the roadway from behind a tall SUV moving directly into our vehicle's path. Our technology immediately detected the individual as soon as they began to emerge from behind the stopped vehicle. The Waymo driver braked hard, reducing speed to approximately 17 miles an hour to under 6 miles an hour before contact was made. To put this in perspective, our peer-reviewed model shows that a fully attentive human driver in the same situation would have made contact with a pedestrian at approximately 14 miles an hour. This significant reduction in impact speed and severity is a demonstration of the material safety benefit of the Waymo driver. This is, I mean, obviously they're saying, look, you know,
better.
If it was a person, that kid be dead.
Yeah.
You know, and this does speak to the idea that at some point it's probably going to be illegal to drive.
Oh, for sure.
How do you feel about that, Lisa?
I think everybody should be on horses anyway.
I'm allergic to horses.
You can fall
Guess what?
off
Yeah,
a
like
horse.
you can't be on a horse if you weigh more than 250 pounds. So like that solves a lot of my problems, right? They got to stay home. But seriously, no. I don't know. I just think that, like, I don't care about this, like, AI drive. You know, I'm anti-technology, anti-AI driving. I think that everybody should, like, I should be allowed to drive myself. But I think this is like a kid problem. Like, this is more bad parenting. Like, why are your kids running out in the middle of the street at 6?
Well, I mean, I understand.
They shouldn't do that.
I understand what you're saying, but if robots are better drivers than people, and at some point they're gonna be, would you say?
They are right now. I mean, I was just in Scottsdale and I took a Waymo for the first time, and I was very much like, after 30 seconds, you don't even think about the fact that there's no driver.
I mean, I talk about this a lot. I got a Tesla and I've got the full self-driving, and it annoys me that I can't look at my phone while I'm on it.
Why, it tracks your eyes?
Well, yeah, it tracks your face, and if you have something in your hand,
Wasn't there a thing where someone like made a weight that you could put on the steering wheel?
That used to work, but you can't. But they have a camera now that actually looks at your eyes. So if you're wearing a hat, it'll be like we can't see your eyes, so you have to kind of keep touching the steering wheel. But if you put your sunglasses on, it can't see your eyes, and it'll leave you alone. But you still can't have anything in your hand. It'll say device detected in your hand. But the point that I'm making is, if you've got your device in your hand, it'll tell you, oh, you have to put the device down. But what happens is people turn off the self-driving so they can mess around on their phone.
Right.
Because if you want to send a text or you want to do something on your phone.
Which is less safe than if they just let you use
Exactly. Now, it's worth noting that with Grok in the cars, you can tell Grok, you can talk to Grok, and Grok is really good. Be like, hey, what's this? You know, just ask it questions, or what have you, and it'll do a lot of stuff for you. It's not quite an agentic AI yet, but and again, we'll talk about that in a little bit. But it's really good. I said, Grok, I need to go from where we are to blah blah blah, and I need to stop at this place for this on the way. Can you route me a route? And it was like, yeah, cool. And I just pressed the button, and the car drove and did the whole thing, for me. So I think that if
this is just what's happening. Whatever our opinions are on it, I'm like, if Waymos were dangerous, this would be happening all the time. And as far as I know, besides this story, there was like Waymo killed a cat.
Wasn't there?
San Francisco?
There was one where it drove through like a shootout.
I love that. Like, it's just like, I got places to be. I don't care that there's like a
Did it accelerate, or is it just like, I don't care?
It just drove right through it.
Cops were like arresting people in an intersection.
I saw that. Yeah,
and then the Waymo just drove right through, just like made its left turn, just drove right by.
Well, to your point, I mean, I mean, first off, I'm a blue collar guy, carpenter by trade. I love working on cars, trucks, whatever. So I don't even like cruise control. But what we're seeing, I mean, what, it was 2020? Like Andrew Yang was pushing like AI 18 wheelers. You know,
Yeah,
if this is a Waymo, imagine like the destruction an 18 wheeler could do to somebody. So you take that on one side, and then
Especially
you take these like Indian truckers too.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you pick, man?
I mean,
what do you
Definitely
pick the
better than
robot.
Indian truckers. For
Yeah,
sure.
at the end of the
Definitely
day,
better than
like
Indians.
the problem with the AI, like the car stuff, is that because you're right. Like eventually, you're not going to be allowed to drive, and there will be some accidents. Like it'll be way less than there currently are. But the problem is, you tell a person, you go, we now decide if you get in an accident, not you.
Yeah.
And there's so many people who are like, well, no, I would never get in an accident, and now
I've got a
being
perfect
told,
driving record. I've never been in an
I would
accident.
Yeah,
never
so that
get
means
in
you
an
won't in the
accident,
future, right?
And now this computer is like, well, now we decide who gets in an accident, and it'll be way less.
I mean,
but you don't decide.
45,000 people a year die in
Yeah, and there will probably be
car
like
accidents.
10.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things that
But those 10 people would be like, why me? And you go,
it's one of the things that makes America America, though. Like, come on, like Ford Mustangs, like the open road adventure. It's like
I think
it's
that
our
everybody
heritage.
is so freaking lazy anymore. Like I prefer a manual transmission, right? Like I had my last car that I've ever really owned was, other than my little Jeep Patriot, was a 2002 Ford Mustang GT, right? Like that was my favorite car. And you actually feel like you're driving it. Like we are making ourselves like more useless and useless.
If
as they go.
lazy
Do you
is
know-
if lazy is your
No, but, like-
problem, then you should just walk.
no, but my point is like there's just like we're losing everything that it means to like be productive. Like
And
back,
Trump,
you know
Trump
what?
got behind it too, like against the EVs at first,
just-
and then he kind of, made a deal,
It's
which
just
is
so
okay.
disappointing.
But
This is what happened. Like this started with women in the 50s, right? Do you know why that you have to add, like when you have a cake mix box? Do you know why you have to add 2 eggs in there? So that women could actually feel like they were actually cooking something. You don't actually need the eggs in the box, right? Because women didn't feel like they were, oh, I didn't bake the cake. If you can just, push it.
Add
So
water.
if they had to crack the eggs, they did studies on it. If they had to crack the eggs and then mix it up, they would actually feel like they were being productive and useful. A lot of the women that got bored in the 50s and stuff when they started coming out with dishwashers because they don't feel productive, like you're physically doing anything. Now you're going to take away driving, like you're not thinking.
yeah, but then
right?
when I call my wife a dishwasher, she gets upset.
Yeah, true.
Well,
But you're
yeah.
you're not thinking anymore. You're using AI to think. You're not reading books anymore. You're using audiobooks to do it. Now we're not going to be driving either. And now you have robots talking to each other. Like, what are we even here for?
I mean, the thing with the driving, though, is like our track record on it is not good.
Yeah.
Who
and
cares?
now with cell phones, everybody's like, you
Can we
drive
have a
around-
little element of teacher? We're all going to live in
take it to the
padded
track.
rooms too. We're going to live in padded rooms with our AI feeding us. Like,
I don't,
No,
I
but
don't
that's a
think
good
it
point,
makes
like-
sense.
I think it's horrible.
If you have the option of driving or not driving, of driving yourself or the car drives, I think most people are going to decide they want the car to drive because, I mean, look,
Really?
man, there are times where
100%. I mean, that was like the height of luxury in like the 80s is you had a driver.
Yeah, like,
It was like that was like a
yeah.
thing billionaires had.
there are
Now
times
everybody
where
has
when I
it.
get in my car, I just sit there and I'll let the car drive. Then there are times when I'm like, all right, look, you're just not driving aggressively enough, and I'll turn it off because I want to get around
And I
somewhere.
do
where
like
Yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
Like there's no question. I'm like sometimes I just I was on the road and I rented a car and like it's fun and I live in New York so I don't even have a car anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like there is somewhat of a novelty and it's fun, but at some point
It's a
like,
bit far fetched to say that we'll lose all our driving
Oh,
freedom.
no, I
Oh, no, that's
totally
a-
disagree.
Well, I want to bring up too, like aside from driving, like and you talked about horses, Lisa. It's like, you go from the Amish or the Mennonites like plowing fields by horses. But another major case that came out was John Deere with these tractors, where it's okay. You have a Waymo or you have like an AI tractor. I would be in favor of that, so
Oh,
I
you
don't
see
have
that
to be
AI
out in the
snowblower?
cornfields.
The guy had the snowblower.
But the
Oh, with
thing,
the driveway?
the point is though, the Trump administration is going hard with the Department of Labor, saying, "Hey, let's bring back apprenticeships, let's bring back hard work, and let's bring back the American worker," which I definitely stand for. But what happens is what happens if your Waymo breaks down? Like you no longer have the tools and abilities and the knowledge to fix these machines,
No,
to be
they'll-
a
And
mechanic.
physicality goes with like your spirituality, like to be a happy person. Like everybody's happiness index is going down the tubes, right? You have to like mix your labor with
The
something
sy-
like
the
physical
system
labor.
gets you.
To like, ever notice if you go outside and you like cut your lawn or you garden or you do something like physical and you're touching the soil on the ground, you're doing something like you have such a better
you
day.
accomplish something.
Yeah, you
but
accomplish
then-
something, right? But if somebody's just driving you around or like thinking or doing all these AI things, there's no there's no sense of worth.
But
Like,
what I'm saying,
you didn't
Lisa,
do anything.
if
you didn't accomplish anything.
So Lisa,
I hate it all.
if you had like a John Deere little like seeder or planter in your yard, and then it breaks down,
You don't know how to plant your. No, most people don't know how to plant their own
you
food.
can't even fix the seeder yourself. So you have to by contract send it back to John Deere.
Or the AI machine to come, the robot to come fix it later. Like this sounds
You
terrible.
can't even
It's
take
like,
it to the
there's-
you can't even fix it yourself.
Right, it's horrible.
You have to
I'm
buy,
out.
or else you'll lose your
I don't like
warranty.
Right.
I don't like any way. I don't like stuff.
Yeah, but
going
that was
forward.
similar to like with the iPhones, where they're like, yeah, you can't. They had the whole lawsuit over that, where people are like, yeah, I want to replace the battery in my iPhone. And Apple's like, well, then you lose your warranty, and people just did it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, there's still people that jailbreak their iPhones and stuff like that, and have different operating systems.
And I mean,
stuff.
but next week it'll be like AI tractor runs over so and so in the cornfield.
Well, the bad thing about you're mentioning tractors. The bad thing about tractors is the tractors that can like basically take readings of your soil and send it back to John Deere, and you never actually even own your soil. They're the ones that are controlling
That too.
the soil content
Yep.
and stuff. But I do think that honestly, like this stuff is coming whether we like it or not.
Yeah,
you know, there's no question about it. There's going to be. Look, I personally would rather have AI-driven tractor trailers than immigrants that can't speak English, can't read English. You know, I do think that
That's fair.
18-wheelers that are driven by robots that are they're never on speed, they're never asleep, they're never trying to
Like
I mean,
those
think how many
Indian guys
tra-
that
how
are like
many
taking people out with the
crazy
tractor trailers.
trailer
Yeah.
accidents.
Yeah.
Do you
Tons,
see like
tons.
jackknifing, all
Well,
sorts of stuff?
Another alternative to that could be you see in Europe, like the train system is like so much greater than America. I mean, we had we had it in earlier days, maybe 100 years ago, but then now we have planes. So maybe like if we got back into trains, I would rather have trains. I think that would be safer, like AI trains instead of 18-wheelers.
I imagine that that's coming.
Yeah.
Or they would do that because there's still a lot of
But
freight
again,
that's
though,
moving.
it's like an American heritage thing. Like my dad's dream was to like own a truck stop. Like have like the diner and like the mechanic
Well,
shop.
people will
and,
still travel
Yeah.
and they'll need to stop and eat and stuff, but their car that they'll be doing it in will be closer to a living room than a car.
Yeah. I mean, excuse me. Like when you, if you get into a car that drives for you, like it doesn't take very long for you to be like, okay, this is sick.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Or what we could see, Phil, is like with the trucker protests. They were protesting because it's like the truckers basically own the food and the supplies.
Mm-hmm.
So next one thing that might happen is like, okay, the grid's down, so now all the 18-wheelers are down. So now nobody can get their shelf stocked, nobody can get their groceries, nobody can get their Amazon, nothing.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, there's legitimate logistical questions about it. Like, it's still a pain in the butt to charge your Tesla sometimes. Like around here, there's not a lot of superchargers, and so this morning I drove.
It's like an errand. It's
Yeah,
like a
it is.
major errand.
If you got
to go do
if you
it.
have one in your house, which
Yeah.
we're only down here for a little while, but my place in the apartment that I rent, I've got a charger there. As soon as I installed it, like the worry about charging stopped.
Right.
Like I don't care.
Yeah.
Like I plug it in at night, leave it, and then in the morning it's charged up. And even when I wanted to take if I was going from Martinsburg to DC, go there and back, and you still got plenty of charge to tool around for the day.
Right.
Plug it in at night and you never have an issue. So like the range stuff, if you're doing like a long drive, when we drove down here, it was a pain in the butt. But I got a 3-month-old, so we were stopping every couple hours anyways, because
And it's
he's got
like 20 minutes to get like 80%
yeah,
charge
something
kind
like
of thing.
that. Depending. But the chargers are getting faster, and the batteries are getting better and stuff like that. If I understand correctly, you can actually replace a battery in a Tesla as well. Like it's not cheap.
Yeah,
but
it's
to put
expensive.
but you can put a new one in, and
Yeah. I'm sure.
so you
I'm
can
sure
upgrade it.
Elon and them will definitely invent like a basically like how like a power drill has. You just swap it out
Yeah,
and put a new
yeah.
battery in. They're coming. Like
Yeah.
you charge one and leave the other one in the garage, and
Yep.
And hey, Elon, if you watch this, you take I'll take credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, you can buy house batteries and stuff like that, and plug your car in and use the car as a house battery if you want or whatever.
I think the problem though is those batteries are not small. Like
Huge.
was an
It's the most
issue.
expensive component on a Tesla.
There was an issue recently with I can't remember what it was. Some big vehicle, like maybe I don't know, like something similar to a Hummer, was or a Humvee was like has a battery that weighs as much as like 5 cars, and so they had a problem where they're like, will the parking garages support this long term? Because there was a parking garage collapse recently, or not recent. It was I don't know, like a year ago or something. But the question is, if they're already having trouble with the parking garages, how are they going to survive like 5x the weight load?
Yeah. I mean, look, these are all legitimate points you're making, but I still think that this stuff is coming, and
no question.
Lisa here is gonna be most affected. She's gonna complain.
I'm not complaining. I'm over it.
You are lying. You absolutely are complaining.
I've been miserable all day. I'm fine. And so everybody knows that.
I've been miserable.
First of all,
fine.
I'm a woman, and we're emotional and weird, right? So like.
Yep.
Yeah, so, and we're never held accountable, so just leave me alone.
Complaining Lisa's the best Lisa, anyways.
I'm not even complaining.
I'm all for muting.
I'm a little quiet.
Lisa.
What were you saying, Kev?
Nothing at all.
Kevin, you know what they're saying in the chat that they're like, yeah, Lisa wouldn't even fix anything. Does anybody not know how handy I am? I have all the tools in my family. I've changed a timing belt in a car. I can.
You helped build the Septibus.
Correct, I do. I build everything. I even put the molding on my wall. I do carpentry work. I do all of it. So don't say that, chat. You
do
can kick
finish
rocks.
work?
I do carpentry work. Yeah, I put all my crown molding up. I put all my woodwork up. Yeah,
Finish work.
Finish
work sucks. It's one thing doing framing or whatever. Finish work sucks.
You should see my tool set. I have everything.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.